Pakistan's growing friction with the Taliban has reached a breaking point, with deadly airstrikes in Afghanistan intensifying regional tensions. While Islamabad points fingers at the Taliban for harboring terrorists, its actions and policies are under scrutiny. The unfolding situation highlights a complex web of blame, terrorism, and civilian suffering that demands global attention. We have a report.
Tensions are boiling over between Pakistan and the Taliban as violent clashes erupt along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. Islamabad's attempts to tackle terrorism are backfiring, exposing its complicity in fostering instability in the region. On December 24, Pakistan launched airstrikes in Afghanistan's Burmal district, located in Paktika province. Pakistan jets targeted multiple villages, with Murg Bazars suffering extensive destruction. Reports indicate that 7 villages were hit, including Laman, where 5 members of the single family were killed. While Islamabad remains tight-lipped, sources close to the military claim that the strikes targeted hideouts of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. At least 15 bodies have reportedly been recovered, though official casualty figures are yet to be disclosed.
What has happened now? The Pakistanis have antagonized the Afghans. What they have killed there in those in the purported camp which they attacked, and they claim that we have killed a lot of these TTP personnel. But ultimately, that was the camp where a large number of women and children were staying, and all that they have killed is the is those TTP women and their children. And I think that calls for it is, very frankly, it is a shameful act, and it calls for a great deal of introspection by Pakistan.
The Afghan Defense Ministry strongly condemned the attacks, branding them a violation of international law. It accused Pakistan of targeting civilians, including women and children, many of whom were refugees from Pakistan's Waziristan region. This latest aggression comes amid escalating tensions over the TTP's presence in Afghanistan. Pakistan has repeatedly accused the Afghan Taliban of sheltering TTP fighters, who have intensified attacks on Pakistan forces in recent months. However, the Afghan Taliban denies these claims, asserting that the recent strikes targeted civilians rather than militants. Pakistan's troubled relationship with the Taliban is steeped in irony. In 2021, Islamabad openly supported the Taliban's takeover of Kabul, urging the global community to provide aid and recognition to the group. Pakistan stood as a lone advocate for the Taliban's return to power, hoping the regime would curb TTP's activities.
As far as Pakistan is concerned, I think they have made that very fundamental flaw in their thinking, that because we assisted Afghanistan, the Taliban of Afghanistan, in forming in their bad days, they gave them shelter, they gave them support, and now that government is in power. So the mistake which Pakistan has made is thinking that just because of that help, Afghanistan will be subservient to Pakistan. But when you look at Afghanistan's history, it's a very proud people. Of course, it's an Islamic, they call themselves an Islamic Emirate, not Afghanistan. They refer to themselves as the Islamic Emirate. So regardless of the religious affiliation, that feeling of Afghanness, that we are Afghanistan and this is our land, that element of pride is something which the Pakistanis haven't understood. And I think that is what is now haunting them, because Afghanistan is not playing second fiddle to the Pakistanis. So what we are really seeing now is Pakistan has got a very active front on its western border with Afghanistan.
However, reality has painted a starkly different picture. A United Nations report revealed that the Taliban remains sympathetic to the TTP, supplying weapons and aiding in cross-border attacks. The report highlights how Afghanistan under the Taliban has become a sanctuary for terror groups, including Al-Qaeda and TTP affiliates. Pakistan's strategy of supporting extremist groups for geopolitical gains has backfired. While Islamabad accuses the Taliban of harboring terrorists, it cannot escape its culpability. For decades, Pakistan has nurtured militant networks, turning the region into a hotbed of extremism.
While Pakistan presents itself as a victim of terrorism, the world doesn't believe it. And I think to that extent, India's foreign policy, India's political, initiatives and diplomatic initiatives have ensured that the world knows the truth, that Pakistan is a state sponsor of terror, and India will not talk to them till such time as they continue with those activities. Pakistan tries that counter narrative that they are the victims. But the question is, they were the people who created these terrorists. They've nurtured them. And now if those terrorists are coming back to haunt them, I think that is the fault of Pakistan.
The airstrikes in Afghanistan further erode Pakistan's credibility. By blaming the Taliban for escalating terrorism, Islamabad attempts to deflect from its role in fostering instability. The region now faces heightened insecurity, with civilians paying the ultimate price for these geopolitical games.